which is what scientists are concerned about. They're only concerned about delta S naught system, and there's a method in which we only need delta S naught system, not delta S naught surroundings, to determine if a reaction is feasible. So what we do is, first we expand this equation. By expanding, I mean we write delta S naught total as a sum of delta S naught system plus delta S naught surroundings. Then we write delta S naught system, same thing, but instead of delta S naught surrounding, we write the formula of delta S naught surrounding, which is delta H minus delta H over T. Then we open this bracket, so this becomes minus T delta delta S naught system plus, because minus minus becomes plus, and the T cancels out, so plus delta H. So we have a formula for Gibbs free energy change delta G naught, which is equal to delta H minus T delta S naught system. Minus T delta S naught system. So now we have eliminated delta S naught surroundings completely from the reaction. We are from the equation. We are not concerned about the entropy change of surroundings, and now we only have the enthalpy change and the entropy change of system, which are the two things that we can obtain directly from the reaction, and we don't need to use the surroundings in any case. So this becomes a lot more easier for chemists to calculate to determine the feasibility of reaction. So as I said, that if delta S naught total sorry for the y, if delta S naught total is greater than 0, then the reaction is feasible. Now if you look here, delta G naught is directly proportional to negative delta S naught total, because we let's take T as the constant of proportionality, but let's just say that delta G naught is directly proportional to delta S naught total, which means that delta G naught must be less than 0 for a reaction to be feasible, because it's completely opposite. So for a reaction to be feasible, delta S naught should be greater than 0, which means that delta G naught should be less than 0 for the reaction to be feasible. So when delta G naught is less than 0, the reaction will be feasible, or in other words, it will be spontaneous. It's the same thing. The reaction will be feasible, or in other words, it will be spontaneous. So let's just, these are some definitions that might come. So you can go through them. I'll just read them out quickly. The standard Gibbs free energy change of reaction is the there should be no Gibbs over here. It's only, yeah, so I'll read it again. The standard Gibbs free energy change of reaction is the free energy change when the amounts of the reactants given in the stoichiometric equation react under standard conditions to give products. And the standard molar Gibbs free energy change of formation is the free energy change that accompanies the formation of 1 mole of a compound under standard conditions with the reactants and this in their standard states. So these are just very similar to the definition of enthalpy changes, so I'm not explaining them. Instead of enthalpy change, we have Gibbs free energy change. That's it. And the unit of Gibbs free energy change is the same as that of enthalpy change, because it is also a measure of energy. So it is kilojoule per mole. So unit of Gibbs free energy change most commonly used is kilojoule per mole. So feasibility and Gibbs free energy change, as I said, if the Gibbs free energy change for a reaction is negative, the reaction is feasible. And so we have done this, and now we have to break the link between feasibility and rate of reaction. So sometimes when you put a slightly unreactive metal into